Hey guys, welcome to my first mini timeline where we focus on movies that actually only made it to a second part. This week we're focusing on Waxwork and its sequel, Waxwork 2, Lost in Time. The first Waxwork came out in 1988 and it was Anthony Hitchcock's first film. Since we're not given a specific date, we generally assume that it takes place in the year of its release, which matches up to the technology and fashion on hand. There's a bit later on here where a character is going through missing person files, and which all have a last seen date of 1983, so at least we know it's past that. A group of well-to-do teens are invited to a private Waxwork opening where they're greeted by a squeaky-voiced little person, a lurch wannabe, and a brilliant David Warner as the Waxwork owner. He's tossing people into the displays, which transports them to another world in which the wax inhabitants attack them, and if they kill them, they become a part of the display. We get a variety of fun creatures attacks like the Wolfman, Dracula, the Mummy, and the Marquis de Sade. Zach Galligan, who's really not used to fighting things higher than his kneecaps, plays Mark and has to rally to fight the forces of evil, but he's joined by Patrick Macnee, who gives him some very crucial info. Mark and his sort-of girlfriend Sarah go to destroy the displays and learn that they can only hurt you if you believe in their power and escape, but the villains are able to complete their quest anyway and bring all the Waxworks to life. Patrick shows up with the cavalry and a huge fight breaks out, in which Lurch is stabbed and the little guy is fed to Audrey too. The Marquis gets axed and David Warner takes a wax bath. The werewolf kills Mr. McNee's Sir Wilfred, and the Waxworks burns down while Mark and Sarah escapes, but a zombie hand manages to escape, which doesn't really seem like much to build a sequel on, but that never matters because they did anyway. And 4 years later, we get Waxworks 2, Lost in Time. The movie picks up right where the last one left off, with Mark and Sarah, yes, this is Sarah now, escaping with the hand in tow. The hand kills Sarah's dad, and she goes on trial for the murder. So they go to Sir Wilfrid's place for evidence of the supernatural to use in the trial, and a recorded message gives them a hint which leads them to the Ark of the Covenant and Jason's mask, and then a gadget which sends them through a gateway. They get separated and hop through different worlds, which are basically represented as film genres like Frankenstein and Alien. They quickly find out that the whole not believing means they can't hurt you no longer works. Sarah then runs through a variety of awkward wigs, and Bruce Campbell shows up, and so does the Cool Rider, and that's a reference I'm kind of sad to know. They eventually end up in a medieval era, and David Carradine shows up for exactly 2 minutes, and then literally disappears. Turns out Sir Wilfrid takes on the form of a crow to inform Mark that he and Sarah in a realm where good and evil in constant battle. He refers to it as God's Nintendo game. It all comes down to Mark and the main villain jumping from world to world, encountering Mr. Hyde, 70s mall zombies, Jack the Ripper, Nosferatu, and... Wait, go back. Drew Barrymore? Drew Barrymore. And then finally Godzilla, and then back when the villain gets killed by a Catwoman thing. They open a gate back home and Sarah goes, taking a zombie hand for evidence, but Mark stays behind to be a warrior for good. She gets clear of the charges and they pull the whole Back to the Future 2 gimmick with the package from the past, and Sarah joins Mark in the battle, and that's it. Cue rap song ending credits because that's what you did in 1992. So there you have it, only 2 movies and a very strong continuity between them, and certainly room for more. I've always had a soft spot for these films with their kind of anything goes format, and I'd love to see some sort of a follow-up. And that's it for our first mini timeline. There'll be more of these to come, actually focusing on things that only have parts 1 and 2, like Candyman or Chud. We'll be seeing more in the future, so please subscribe to the channel, check it all out, and we'll see you again. Thanks for watching.